Alex Weir. I'm one of the Health and Protection Advisors here at Drewberry, and today I'm here to give you a bit of a run through about income protection. So what is income protection? Income protection is an insurance that's designed to provide you with a benefit if you're unable to work due to accident or sickness. That helps you replace your monthly income to make sure that you can pay your bills in the event you're unable to work. So, what are the different types of income protection? Well, to keep it simple, there's a couple of things that you should take into account. The first is the occupation definition. Now that sounds scary, but it's as simple as understanding there's a few different types. Now at Drewberry, we focus on what's called own occupation cover. That simply means if you're unable to do your specific role for any reason, perhaps accident or sickness, that will pay you a monthly benefit. Now there are other options out there, such as suited or any occupation. The issue with those is it leaves some discretion to the insurer to decide that they're not going to pay a claim because they feel you're still able to perform another job role. The other thing to consider is short and long term. Now of course this will be entirely dependent on your budget, and there's benefits and drawbacks to both. We generally advise you to look at long-term protection because it gives you the most comprehensive form of the cover in the event that you're unable to work. But again, speaking to an advisor, we can help find the right cover for your budget. That being said, there are also accident-only policies. Those are great if budget's a factor, but it is important to understand that those will only cover you in the event of an accident rather than sickness. So what can affect your policy? Now the important thing to understand firstly is everybody's different. So what might be right for one won't necessarily be right for another. But there are a couple of common factors across the market. So things like your age, your occupation, your general recent health status, and what you get up to in your spare time, such as your hobbies, for example, skiing, can all have a factor on this, and of course whether you smoke. Now, that being said, certain insurers will have standard exclusions. For example, think of legal and general. For things like drug and alcohol use, that's automatically going to be excluded. But not every insurer is the same. So it's a really good idea to speak to an advisor. We can understand your circumstances and make sure that we match things up to you. There are a couple of factors which you should think of as well. For example, if you've had recent health issues, different insurers will have different underwriting criteria, and this is a really important thing to consider. What might be right for one insurer, and one insurer may apply an exclusion for, another wouldn't even take notice of. That's why speaking to an advisor can help. We understand the application process, the questions that you're going to be asked, and how that can affect your underwriting. So get in touch and we can help find the right policy for you. So, how do you find the best payout rates? Now, the first thing is that insurers will generally release their statistics every year, so you'll get percentages on what claims they pay out for. However, these can be a little bit misleading. What generally the response is from insurers is that they'll pay 100% of valid claims. The best bit of advice you can have is answer truthfully and accurately in your application. As long as you do, there should be no reason that your claim's not paid. There are of course situations where you'll complete an application and have an exclusion that will apply, so it's important to remember that those will obviously stop you getting paid out. But remember, as long as you're open and truthful in the application, your claim will be honoured. So who has the best premiums? Well, frankly I could give you an answer, but it would be wrong. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. Each insurer will look at different factors, and obviously this will affect your premium. There are a couple of things which are important and will make an immediate difference. Your age, your occupation and your smoker status will have an impact. In addition, even with smoking, if you've given up, they will even ask how long ago you gave up, and this again will affect your premium. As I said, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. A good idea is to get in touch with an advisor and use the comparison tools available. Comparison tools are a great way to get an idea of the sorts of premiums that you'll be looking at, but the best advice I can give you is then speak to an advisor. With insurers, even something as simple as your job role will be what's called an occupation class, and different insurers will grade these differently. So what might be right for one won't be right for another. So get in touch and we'll find the right insurer for you. So who's got the best additional services? Now again, this is very much subjective. There are some things which are really important to some, such as doctor services. You can get that through LV, AIG, companies like the Exeter. But there are other factors which people take in. You can now get things like nutritionist appointments, physiotherapy, and various other benefits such as fracture cover included free with companies like LV. Again, get in touch with an advisor. We want to understand the whole picture. We can then help advise and look at those additional benefits and the ones that are best suited to you. So who's the best? This is a question I get asked all the time, and frankly, I can't give you an answer. It very much depends on you and what you do, and I can give you some examples. As pilots, for example, know when we speak to them, there are two insurers that always stand out, being British friendly and Holloway friendly. is they have the policies that are best suited to them. Again, if you're in a physical trade, companies like British Friendly, the Exeter stand out really well. But again, the types of premium are affected. If you work in an office and generally have pretty lax hobbies, companies like Legal & General and LV are the ones for you. But again, the best thing you can do, get in touch with us. We want to understand your whole situation. Not just what you do, but what you do for fun. What's your lifestyle like? What's in your family? What are your ambitions and goals? Get in touch with us and we'll find the right insurer for you.